Five, four, three, two, one.
Baba.
Alright, what's up guys? This is your friend Legend, Professor Legend. I'm going to show you my deck build for dodge and burn. Notice dodge and burn pretty much mean cancels and burns. But how I run my deck, I run it with straight burns only. I do have a couple of blues, but that's pretty much it. So let's get to it. We're going to go to the deck manager. Of course, I did not buy the new decks yet. The map pack, the blue, black, and white one. Don't have it yet. Anyway, let's go to it. Loading. Loading. Alright, so this is how the deck is right now. I'm just gonna go through it right quick. Bada boom, bada bang. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press X and reset the deck. After we reset the deck, you notice the deck is the default deck. How the deck come. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to the beginning. I'm gonna take out two of those, and we're gonna take out some creatures and the blue cards. We're gonna get back to this card later. Now you should have 37 cards in your deck. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and add all the red burns first. And then we have 51. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press RT, then press X. Now you notice that we have 32 lands. No, 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 no. You should not have 32 lands in a deck. That is too much for any deck, especially for a burn deck. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back up and add a couple of cards. We are going to add this creature. This is a love-hate card. It's not one of my favorites, but late game, it's really useful, really useful, really useful. I just don't like the fact that you have to replicate and use the mana cost of the cost ash to play the card. So, for example, Char, what's this card right here. So you can cast Char as many times as you want if you have the mana. So Char costs 2 colors and a red. So, and this card has to cost 7. So pretty much what you can do is cast one Char, then cast it again, then cast it again. So that will be 9. That's why I say this card would be good late game. So if you have 10 lands down, you can use one Char and cast it 3 times. Got it? So that's why we're going to put this card in. I had this card in. Why not steal someone, card, exile a couple of lands. Well, yeah, no lands, but creatures or cards. But this card is broken right now. So for example, if you're on the left side of the stream, it doesn't matter what side. I mean, when you in the pregame lobby, you know how you can be on the left or the right. I'm not talking about that. When you actually inside the game, and if your character, if you are sitting on the left side, this card does not work. You can play this card as many times as you want, It does not work. It does not. When you exile a card and try to play the card that you exile, it just doesn't work. It's broken. And this is why I do not run this card. It's only useful if you are making the lobby, or you are the first opponent in the lobby. So if you remember the lobby, it's pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4. It only works if you are 1 or 3, 1 or 3. But anyway, definitely not. Don't run this card. This is by far one of my favorite cards in the history of Magic. My only downside is the fact that you have to spend 3 boos, but you get to play from the top of your deck. Why not? Why not? This is a burn deck. A burn deck. You can play from the top of your library. Why not add it? Come on, this the baby right here, guys. This the baby. This the baby. I love it. Just just playing an instant or a sorcery from your graveyard and one of your opponents. So for example, let's say they use all to dust, destroy all color non-colorless premiums. And you going against their Eldrazi deck. They got all those tokens now, and they have that card in the graveyard. Boom, you wipe the board, and you get to burn them. Why not have it? It costs 6. So what? It's 1 blue, 5 reds, or 6 blue. But we are not going to be having that many blues in this deck. 1 blue, 5 reds. Why not have it? This card saved me so many times. Why not have it? Let's go back to the Eldrazi deck, and they use that construction card. They get ready to put it on one of their creatures, and your team may have a creature over there. Swerve. You get to swerve that card and pull it on your teammates, or if they're trying to doom blade you or anything like that, you can reverse it and send it to them. 1 blue, 1 red. Why not? We need more cards in this deck anyway, so why not have it? And that's pretty much it. The reason why I don't have this card in this deck, for multiple reasons, it's useless. 1, it's a sorcery. 2, it costs 2 red to cast, plus a colorless. Destroy target artifact or land. Why is that useful in a burn deck? It's not useful at all. It's a waste of a draw. It's a waste of a cast. It's just a waste of anything. This is by far one of my least favorite cards in this particular deck. If I could trade it for something else, I would. But this card is just garbage. And that's pretty much it. I did consider running this card, but it's kind of a waste of a draw. For the fact is that this deck is purely burn, and when you're going to draw something, it's either going to be a land or a burn. Land or burn. So that time that you're using to cast this card, you could be burning the player. If you want to add this to this deck, be my guest. I don't run it. I feel like it's a waste of a draw. I could be burning them instead of drawing cards. Speaking of drawing, that's why I have this bad boy. 2 damage, you can divide it up any way you want to, and you draw a card. Why not? Do 2 damage to whatever player, or 2 creatures, or 1 creature, or whatever you want to do. You draw a card. Then what we're gonna do one more time is, I'm sorry, I didn't. We kept these in here to get our blues. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna press RT again. I'm sorry, R LT. Then press X. It's gonna recycle your lands again. Now you notice that you have 28 lands. That's a lot better than 32. If you want to, you can put down some blue, add some reds. But I like how they did it. I'm gonna keep it 7 blue, 19 rares. I think that's really nice. And if you notice at the bottom, they say that we need 21 to actually run this deck. That's fine. We're going to have more than what we actually need. And that's going to work out great with the creature that I was talking about earlier that costs 7. Which is the only creature in this deck. Now, one last thing before I go. I'm going to go to each card and tell you why I added. Sorry about that, guys. Had a phone call. Alright, so back to what I was talking about. I'm going to do each card and tell you why I have it. Earthquake. It's a burn deck. This card is used for any deck you play against. Because majority of the decks in this game are just straight land creatures anyway. Plus how this card is actually work is say each player. So for example, we cast this card for 2. Okay? We casting it for 2. It's gonna actually hit the player for 4 damage. This is only in two-headed giant. Only for two-headed giant. Because it's 2 players, but it's only 1 health bar. So you do 2, you're gonna do them for 4. This is only for two-headed giant. Bane Fire, come on now, guys. Why wouldn't you run this card? What would make this card even better? If yes, I did say even better. Anyway, if it was an instant, if this card was an instant, this card would be unbelievable overpowered. But that's this. If X is 5 or more, this card cannot be countered by spells or abilities. The damage cannot be prevented. Come on, this is a nightmare for a council deck. Casting it for 5 or more is a guaranteed damage. Doesn't matter if it's to the player or to the creature. Why not have this card? I already told you why I have this card. You know why. I told you. Alright, this card, I don't really like it, and I don't really dislike it at the same time. I mean, I don't really. Yeah, that's right. But the problem is, you have to spend 3 lands to do 1 damage. Yes, it's to each creature on the battlefield, but mm, 3 for 1 damage. Nah, I'm okay. Damage wise, this card is really good later during the game, late game. I mean late game, like maybe turn 15 or something like that. That's when it's probably good. But the reason why I run this card, why I, Professor, run this card is the fact that you can cycle this card and draw a card. Why not? Draw power. Who doesn't like draw power? Cycling it for 3, get a new card. You can do it during a turn, and just wait to see what they're gonna play. If you have no burns in your hand, if you just want to draw a card, just do it. Why not? It's draw power. I love it. That's the only reason I have this card in this deck. This card is pretty much exactly like this card. However, it's to a target creature or player. This one is only for creature, but it's each creature. This one is for target creature or player. I really don't like cards for me to have like cast 2 colors to use it. So for this particular card, 2 reds and a colorless to do 1 damage. I don't like that. But we need room now in this deck to keep the land count down. So just add it. If you want to take this out and add a blue, be my guest. But for me, I just kept it in because it's this extra burn. Yeah, it's 3 for 1, but who cares? A burn is a burn. Target a player. Hell, they can have 1 HP left. Boom, you have this card. They dead. Why not? This card speaks for itself. 3 damage to a player or a creature. Instant. If you do not run this card, you are crazy. That's all I'm going to say about it. Now, we run this card because divide it up. Back to what I was saying earlier. 2 damage, player, or creature. Or 2 creatures, 1/1. You draw a card. Who doesn't like draw power? Char. I like this card, I hate it at the same time. It costs 3, of course. But you deal 3 damage to a player or a creature and you take 2. Yeah, you take 2, but they are taking 4. And because this is mostly a purely burn deck, why not? More burns, quicker you can down them. Quicker you can win a duel. This is by far one of my favorite cards in the history of Magic. Yes, it does cost 2 reds plus a colorless, and I said before I don't like that, but cannot be countered. Do 2 damage to each creature, each player. If this is 2-headed giant, the players is going to take 4 damage out of 2. The creatures doesn't because it doesn't work that way. But each creature is still going to take 2 damage. So if you're going against like an elf deck, a Zama deck, human deck, 2 damage to each creature, they're going to die. There's nothing they can do about it. They can't counter it. They can just, the only thing they can do is just sit there and take it. And it's 2 of these in this card, in this deck, and I love it. Like, I love it. Why not have this card? What's not to like about it? Other than those 2 reds. Now, this card, it's a love-hate card, too. Either they take 6 damage, or they destroy all creatures on the battlefield. Take 6, destroy all creatures on the battlefield. Take 6, or destroy all creatures on the battlefield. So they got an army down there, and they only have 6 life left. And you're about to lose. What do you think they're going to do? It's your turn. They only have six life, but an army on the battlefield. They are not going to take 6 life. They're going to destroy all those creatures. Then guess what? Your turn come back around, and you burn them. Game over. Let's look at the text in it. Enough. Why not have it? If you do not run this card, you are crazy. They take 5 or you get 3 cards. They take 5 or you get 3 cards. Come on now. What would make this card great? I mean, great. If this card was an instant. Does castle it during your opponent turn and they don't take that 5 and let you draw 3? Come on now, baby. That will just. You just have to have it. Now, with this card, do 2 or 3 damage. 2 damage if you play this card during a turn. It is an instant, of course. But back to what I was saying earlier. Because in Two-Headed Giant, if you cast a card like this, each player take 2. There's only one health bar per team. So instead of them taking 2 damage during a turn, they're gonna take 4. If you're doing it during your turn, it doesn't mean at the beginning of your turn, the middle of your turn, or the end of your turn. As long as it's during your turn, they're gonna take a total of 6 damage. Now, it's 4 of these in this deck. Come on now, that's over half, almost half of their life. Why not have these 4 cards? That these cards alone is gonna pretty much kill them. Freeze of Sight. I already told you why. I don't need to tell you again. This bad boy right here. I won so many games with this card right here. After using up all my mana and they only have 4 life left. Sacrifice 2 lands. The game's about to be over with anyway. Bada boom, bada bang. Winner! I already told you about this card. Well, why not have it? Well, I'm just gonna keep it on the stream and let you read this card. Alright. Now, why wouldn't you have this card? Why not? And this is the only creature in this deck. And pretty much that is my burn deck. This is Professor Legend burn deck. I will be tweaking it again to try some new combinations, some new things to do, the new tests and stuff like that. But so far, I love how I built this deck. It's just gorgeous. Purely burns. Yes, you do take damage with them, but overall, they're going to be taking more. You just got to know when to burn them and when not to burn them. Kind of play it with a caution. Kind of wait. Try to bait them to play cards, creatures, and don't get too greedy. Wait to use Earthquake. Wait until they have an army. Wipe them out. Yeah, you're gonna take some big hits, but overall you're gonna kill them. And if it comes down to it, if you don't want to lose, draw the game. Just draw it. Nobody wins. If I can't win, no one can. Draw or win. Losing is not an option with this deck. We want to burn them. And if anyone find a combination to do a free fall with 4 players and get a draw, let me know. I've been trying to do that and I haven't been able to succeed in that. Because every time I try that, I always get focused by one player because I'm burning everybody and they want to take me out. That's how it works in the world of Magic sometimes. But I have been close. I was able to get everyone under 10 life. And the first time I actually did it, I was able to wipe out myself and another player, and also get another player 2-3 life. If I would have actually did it right, if I didn't misplay, I would have been able to wipe out 3 of us, me and 2 other players. What I did was I burned the highest player life XP with the spear. That's 3 damage, and guess what I just said? The other guy lived by 3 damage. I would have did that instead of him. If I would have actually did math and added it up before I played, that one play would have won. By me taking out everybody but him. so why not? But if you like this deck, if you want me to do more, just like and subscribe, and leave a comment, and just let me know. You will hear this again at the end of my critics because. Anyway, thank you guys.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird.